Good afternoon. So today is the 28th of May and I am doing a quick video today to go over the preparations I have done for my upcoming Camino. We leave here May 31st, so we're just a few days away, and my walk will start on June 3rd. So once I get to Paris, there's a bit of transit time for me to get down to Bayonne. But anyway, I thought I would introduce myself, say good morning, say hello, and go over my equipment, go over my route, and tell you what's different from last year. For my first major change, last year I walked from Lisbon along the coast past Porto doing the Camino Português. Book length was 675 kilometers, 674 kilometers. My actual steps took me to about 800 kilometers, full distance, and it took me more or less 31 days. This year, I'm doing something a little bit more challenging. I will be starting here in Bayonne, France, which is one of the traditional starting points of the Camino del Norte, which runs along the top coast of Spain all the way to Santiago. However, I didn't really like walking only next to the beach last time. I preferred the mountains, so I will follow the Norte to Bilbao. And in Bilbao, I will switch from the Camino del Norte across the top to the Camino Olvidado, or the Forgotten Way. It travels here from Bilbao through these massive mountain ranges, through La Robla, all the way down to Vilafranca del Bierzo. That will give me my first certificate for completion of the Camino de Olvidado. From there, I will backtrack along the Camino Francais to Lyon. And in Lyon, I will take this route here, which is the Camino San Salvador, and we'll cross 3 mountain ranges to get there. Once I'm in Oviedo, I will switch one more time. Oh, and I will get a certificate here in Oviedo for walking this small 125 kilometer chunk or whatever it is. Once I get to Oviedo, I will follow the classic Camino Primitivo, including the Hospitales route over some of the tallest mountains, from Oviedo all the way into Santiago de Compostela. Google, which isn't exactly correct, thinks my walk will take about 1,200 kilometers, 1,100 kilometers. And yeah, I'm planning on doing it in between 55 and 60 days. Okay, so like every person who runs the Camino does, we sit there and we obsess about what we're carrying in our bag. We like to look over it. We like to ask questions. We like to show off for ridicule, I guess. I have no idea. But this is what I'm packing this year. I went from a very heavy 13 kilo pack last year to this year I am sitting at about 6 kilos. So I've lost over half of my weight from last year. So that was my plan. I wanted to try and get down to about 6 kilos, and I've managed to do it. I'm a little over, but that will be solved by my walk, and I will explain as we go. So first thing in my pack, always the most important thing, is my credential. So this is my pilgrim's passport, my credential. Inside, I will get my celos, my stamps, and these will allow me access to the municipal albergues, etc. And at the end, when this is all filled with stamps, and I'll probably have a second book also all filled with stamps, I will get my certificate in Santiago. This year, I'm also decided to do something. Last year, when I was walking, a couple of pilgrims gave me some small little gifts, and it really means something when you're out and a stranger or a short-time friend hands you something to commemorate the bond. So this year, I have made these little Camino bracelets. You can see I'm wearing one already. And some Camino fobs for keys or whatever else, zipper pulls or whatever else you want to use them for. So I'm going to be handing these out. It's about 400 grams plus this little baggie. So it will be going away as I go and hopefully decreasing as I walk. Starting from the bottom of the bag, we have a down sleeping bag. This is a 400 gram down bag by a company called Aegis Max. So I've gotten that. It's currently sitting in a nylon liner, which is supposed to be a super durable plastic fume liner thing. The ultralight community seems to like them, so I'm going to give it a shot. I have no idea. We'll see. Inside that, I will use my silk sleeping bag. This is from Decathlon. They're not expensive, but they are quite light. I think this one weighs, there we go, 100 grams. So nice enough. I've treated it with permethrin, so it's actually a little bit heavier right now because of the added material. But this will keep bed bugs off of me and bed bugs out of my thing. So that's good. On top of that, loose packed bag and my liner is this dry bag. And inside that dry bag, I have two pairs of Injinji toe socks, 2 pairs of merino socks, well, a pair of merino socks, a pair of on my feet, and then this is my Lurbel B-Max socks. These are made out of crustacean chitin, so they're kind of an interesting sock, but they're really good on anti-blisters, so I'm really happy with those. I'll get another pair in Spain when I see them. A couple pairs of underwear, pair of shorts, a long sleeve top for moisture management and light cool, and then I have to bring a much heavier thermal layer this year because I'm doing some mountains at 16 to 1800 meters, so it might get a little cold, especially early morning or overnight in some of the unheated albergues. So I'm bringing that so I don't end up with so many issues. This year I've dumped my heavier organization packs and I've picked up these 3, 1, 2, and 3 Dyneema bags by a company called Hikeman. They are a super strong material that is resistant to stretch and tearing and everything else, and they're also theoretically waterproof. That's not why I got them. I just got them because they're durable and they're super lightweight. So we've got one with what I call my first aid kit. We got basic painkillers and antacids and antidiarrheals and even some band-aids and some disinfectants and a pair of scissors and things, just in case I get cut or blisters or whatever. Just standard, lightweight, take care of your body stuff. Then I've got like my daily, I've just walked and I'm a 49-year-old man. We've got some Voltarol for my knees because, well, I'm not as young as I used to be. Some muscle rub for my calves because you're walking a lot. Some antibiotic cream just in case, again, you get a blister or cut or whatever. And then some Salon Pass for plantar fasciitis on my feet. My left foot is still bugging me a little bit, so that's what that's there for, but it's getting better. So, basic electronic pack, including a Euro-style charger. So, can charge an albergues. I'm taking a 2-meter cable because sometimes these are really far from your bed. Yeah, then above that we've got this bag. This is my wet toiletries bag. These are 3 bags of soap. These are by a company called Matador, except they're not. These are from the Chinese manufacturer for Matador, but without the Matador branding. So instead of $15 a piece, they're about $1 a piece. So there we go. I've got shampoo, conditioner, and a body soap in one of those combinations in those bags. You open the bag up, you take your soap out, you wash yourself. When you're done, just kind of dry it, shake off the bar, stick it back in here, and then these allow the soap to dry through the bag so that you don't get that mushy soap goo, and your bag doesn't get wet. So we'll see. I haven't tried them before, but we're going to try them out. Up here we have the last toiletry bag. These are kind of what I call the dry toiletry. So you get, your toothbrush and your toothpaste and your face lotion and your deodorant and stuff like that, your dailies. And then this year I also upgraded to a Sea to Summit Airlight towel. So this is one of the lightest towels I could find. And it weighs very little, and it's very tiny. You can see this is the biggest size they make. This is bath sheet size, and it's, it's half the size of a Coke can. We got some sunscreen to keep me from getting burnt. Of course, we've got the scallop shell I picked up on the coast in Portugal last year, so I'll be carrying this again. For laundry this year, we're using the same kind of thing which I did last time, which are these soap sheets. Except I refined it. These ones are good for, each full sheet is good for 2 to 3 kilos of clothing. Well, I'm only doing about 1 kilo at a time, so I'm cutting them in half. So this is 30 sheets, cut in half, 60 sheets, 60 days worth of laundry. I'm going to be using a Fire Maple dry bag here as my washing thing. So I will fill this with some water, put the soap in it, let it dissolve, throw in whatever dirty laundry, squish it around, dump out the bag, let it all dry, rinse it, etc. You know what I mean. Way to keep your stuff out of the sink, way to keep the albergue flowing, and way to just kind of let other people use the common areas without having to hog them all. To dry, just in case there is no line at the albergues, which sometimes they fill up, I brought a 5-meter length of ultra high modularity weight polypropylene line, sometimes called Dyneema, sometimes called UHMPWE, whatever it is. Anyway, it's like paracord, except it's lighter, stronger. It doesn't sag when it gets wet, and it has no stretch, so I can get it nice and tight like a guitar string. Again, I use these giant 70 mil clothespins, because then whatever you put up doesn't actually fall off the line in the wind, and you can strap it to your backpack and walk with your socks if you need to. This year, for some nutrition, again, I'm using the effervescent electrolyte tabs in a water bottle as I walk. Keeps me happy and hydrated throughout the day. Taking a couple of these gummy chewies for the first couple of days as I get back into my walking pattern and health. It'll help support that. I've also got a 8-week supply of my mushroom blend that I use to help keep anxiety and depression down. And for rain this year, I'm using a 3F UL Gear ultralight poncho and rain chaps to manage my weight, because I took Gore-Tex last time, and both my rain pack cover and my jacket themselves, they both weighed more than these combined, and they both wetted out over time. So they didn't keep anything dry. So I'm trying a different system. We'll see what happens. I also have a silver umbrella this year. It's supposed to be good for sun. It's reflective, so it helps keep the heat away. So I'm going to use that, and some some strap mounts to try and hold it on my backpack. Carrying a pair of these ultralight running sandals by a company here in Chiang Mai called Elite Running Sandals. These are their E-Trail lines or E-Trek line. Anyway, it's supposed to be good for like mountain running or whatever. A little more durable than a standard base foamy type thing. Lighter than a full-on rubber-soled shoe like a Teva or a Keen. So I can wear these and carry my pack if necessary, or they're also just albergue going out in the evening, so they're not my boot shoes. And then, yeah, this year we're walking in an Osprey Stratus 34. It has a great suspension system. It is a little heavy. It is 1.4 kilos, which is why I've spent so much time and energy trying to reduce the weight of my main pack. And then I have a Hikeman Dyneema chest bag that will attach to the front of the backpack and carry all my phone and stuff like that, so I don't have to have them in my pants pockets. But yeah, that is my packing for this trip. And I'm sure I'm forgot something. I'm sure I'm overpacking something. Everybody has their opinions of what should or shouldn't go. But I think this is a good start. If I hate something and I don't want to carry it, like if I find I don't use the umbrella, I will chuck it, or I'll mail it on, or I'll give it to another pilgrim or something. Yeah, but I think other than, you know, a couple of little bits and pieces that might be a little heavy, I'm pretty much as optimized as I personally am going to be able to get. Unless I start saying, oh, I don't need that, and then regretting it. So at least this way I know I won't regret it yet. And if I do regret it, I can either pick something up or I can get rid of it as I go. So yeah, more or less, that's my prep ready. I'll be wearing hiking trousers like last year. This year my shoes are going to be Keen Targhee 4s, much more robust boot than I started with last year, which was a trail runner, but not quite as extreme as the boot I ended up having to buy in Porto. The Bestards, they were a little stiff and they kind of hurt my feet in the plantar fasciitis type of way. So I'm trying somewhere between, firmer than my trail runners, more stiff, less stiff than the full-on Bestard expedition boots that I could find in Porto. Anyway, so that's me more or less packed. A few days from now, we fly from Chiang Mai to Bangkok. We'll spend the night in Bangkok, and then after we leave Bangkok, we fly to Paris, spend the night in Paris, then take a train to Bayonne, spend the afternoon and night in Bayonne, and then start in the morning of June 3rd. So if you're watching this and you're curious what the heck I do with my life, this is what I do sometimes. And yeah, that's what I'll be doing for the next 2 months, for June and July. I'll expect to be finished by very late July. So, hope you enjoyed. Hope I answered some questions. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, let me know. I can justify everything, but there's probably some things I can take out too. So I'll probably actually dump one of those pairs of underwear, just thinking about it. I don't think I need 4. Anyway, buen camino and enjoy the rest of your day.